Okay, hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well and welcome to our show, Meet the Global Leader, which is organized by the School of Entrepreneurship Development. So, the purpose of this program is to share the life experiences and skills of our guest speakers who are from different backgrounds and from different countries with the audience and young leaders. So, today our adorable guest is Anna. So, welcome to the today's session.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this project that I think is so nice and impact so many students. So I'm super happy to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you. And it's a pleasure to have you today with us. So, can you please tell us about yourself?
Sure. So I would start then from what I do now. I don't know if you wanted to also know about the past, but talking about what I do right now. So I work for Alibaba Group. It's a Chinese company in which I'm responsible for the Italian and the Portuguese market. So just for you to understand, I'm from Brazil. So I do speak Portuguese and I've been living in Italy for some years now, and now I'm in charge of the market here as well. So we are growing the business in Europe, and I'm the one responsible for taking care of the growth of our clients inside our platform. That is a B2B platform that calls Alibaba.com. So in short, is it. But if you wanted me to go more in the past, just let me know.
Okay. So, can you more explain about your academic background? In which university have you studied and where?
Perfect. So as I told you, um, I'm Brazilian, so the story is not that short actually. So I was born in Brazil and I stayed there until I was 20 years old. I've studied psychology in Brazil. And when I was in the middle of university, after 2 years of university, I decided to come to Italy to study Italian. So you may be thinking, why Italy? But actually, my grandfather is Italian, was Italian, and I do have the Italian passport. So I thought, why not learn a new language, see a new culture, see a new country? So I came here to do Italian course and learn a little bit about the my roots. And when I got here, I just fell in love with Italy, with the country, the food, but also with the international environment that I could see here. So in Brazil, I was used to just hear Portuguese, so people talking in Portuguese, just meet Brazilian people. And when I got here, I saw that I could see the whole world just in the corner of my house. So this kind of thing made me be like to fall in love with Italy and decide to stay here. And then I've decided to start the university in Italy from zero, and I decided to stay in Italy. I went to look for information to how to get into the university. I found a job to maintain myself because I took this decision. And then I have done the university, the whole university here in Italy. So the university here in Italy is divided like in 3 years of bachelor and then 2 years of master. So I've done in this first part language, literature, and international studies, where I've studied English and Chinese. And then
Mhm.
I've done my master's in business marketing and project management. So you could see that it's a very different things from the beginning to the end. And I think this is the most interesting part. So one thing that I think is valuable to share with you guys is that while I was in the university, even though I was a Brazilian came into Italy to study in Italy, I tried to take part in all the possibilities I get to study abroad. So through university, I've been studying 1 year in London at Royal Holloway University of London. Then I went to do an internship in China to teach Italian to young kids, Chinese young kids. And another experience was to do a summer school in Shanghai at Tongji University of Shanghai. So in this way, I could get in touch with new cultures, I could get in touch with new language, and I could learn not just about others, but also about myself, about what I could do and what I could learn. So I think, in summing up, I think this is the whole myself and the background, like about university.
Okay, wow, so nice. So, yeah, so like you can speak Chinese also?
I've studied it. Right now, I don't use it in my job. You know, I don't speak in Chinese with my colleagues. At the end, we always speak in English. But yes,
Yeah.
I can communicate very well. And tomorrow, actually, I'm going to China to be 15 days there. So we travel.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So it's always going back and forth, but it's a very nice and interesting reality.
Wow, that's so nice. Okay, so were you involved with any activities during your studies, like volunteer work or like any other work?
So actually, I could say that it wasn't really a volunteering, but I could say that it was very close to it. I've done a couple of internships while I was in university, and those internships, they were very linked with the helping others concept, and also I wasn't being paid for that. So I would say that it was kind of a volunteering. And actually, something interesting is that when I was still back in Brazil and I was doing the psychology university, I don't know if you can hear me well. Is it okay, my voice for
Yeah, yeah.
you? Yeah?
Is it okay? It's
Perfect.
okay, yeah.
Okay, just to make sure. But continue what I was saying. Actually, I was like, while I was still in Brazil at university there, I started an internship working with a group of obese people. So we were studying and supporting this group of people to get a better life through a guidance of a psychologist, um, activity like physical activities, and also a diet with more nutrition, you know. So we were studying this group of people, and we were trying to in the same way we were trying to give them a better life. We are also understanding what, um, I don't know if you're still there, but what you they like how they behave and how we could help them. So I think this internship in specific give me a lot of background to make me to understand the people, how they behave, which are the limits of the people, and also to be more empathic, to understand who we do have in front of us. So I think it was a very interesting first internship that I got that gave me some skills. And the second thing that I can tell you, it was another internship that I have done. It was the one I went to China to teach young Chinese kids Italian. And this opportunity was very, very nice because I was in this very tiny city in China where most of the young people, young couples, they were coming to Italy to work, and they were leaving their kids behind with the grandparents to study in China. And then one day, those kids need to come to Italy to meet their parents once again. So I was taking part in this project where I was going there to China to teach Italian to these Chinese kids. And it's a very interesting story actually, because when I got there, I got this class of students, and I could see that they weren't uh, giving much attention to the Italian class. For them, it doesn't matter, you know. It's like, oh my God, how can I engage these kids to be like more active and learn something on this class, you know? So I was observing these kids for a couple of weeks, and then I started to do like some more interactive classes, and also a test at the end of each class in which the one who would do everything correct would win a special gift at the end. So after 1 or 2 weeks, I could see this class of Italian growing, 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 and all these kids like coming to take part in the Italian class, is studying before coming to the class because they wanted to win the prize. So in this way, I think this experience gave me uh, a lot of background to really put myself, challenge myself, and understand how others behave, to adapt myself with to the situation, and also I think this experience gave me also the opportunity to think out of the box. How can I do to make the difference here, like think differently to make them really cooperate and engage with the class. So I think those were the skills I got from these volunteering projects I've took part.
Okay.
I think we lost her.
Actually,
I
yeah.
lost you just a little bit. So if you can start again your question.
Can you hear me now
Yeah.
properly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you tell us about the skills that you developed by doing all this like internship?
Actually, it was just what I have mentioned, just have mentioned to you. That was like the possibility of learning about others, to understand
Yes.
how people behave, to understand the limits of people, also to be more empathic. So empathy is something that you guys will really need during your whole life. So learning that since from an early age, it's very, very uh, interesting, but also necessary. So you can get good opportunities if you know to be more empathic. And also, I think another thing that I've learned was to think out of the box. I think super interesting also to develop it and keep improving these skills, because it's something that you are going to need uh, in the whole life, I think. And also, I would say that manage people is something that I have learned with these opportunities, these internships, because during the whole life you're also going to not manage but also handle people. So you are always going to be interacting with people. So understanding them, you can really communicate better and have a better relation with your peers, for example.
Mhm. Okay. So coming back to the organization that you have said you're working Alibaba. So tell us about the organization and also the impact that you're creating for your community.
Okay, so talking about what we are doing right now, actually I would take uh, just a brief introduction of what Alibaba is. So actually, when we think about Alibaba, we think about a huge corporation.
Yes.
But one thing that differentiates Alibaba from all the big corporations is that we do have this soul as a startup. So even though we are a huge corporation, we are all going to work as we were in a startup. So we are always going to do everything. We are not being afraid of learning or changing roles, changing things we do. So this is one of the main things that I would say to characterize Alibaba and as a company. Then I would say that Alibaba was born more than 20 years ago with one mission. It was to make it easy to do business anywhere. So in this way, Alibaba was building many business units and innovating, all to support our clients to reach new customers and to reach new markets. So in this way is what I'm doing right now here in Europe as well. So with our platform, the B2B platform, Alibaba.com B2B platform, we support our clients that are all sellers. So they are manufacturers or they are trading companies that wanted to sell their products. We support them to reach the whole world, to reach other markets through our platform. So we give them all the support they need to really start selling their products to other customers. And one thing is that the impact we are do having here is not just about giving them the tools to reach a new country, but also we are passing them the knowledge about how to do it. And once they have the knowledge and they have the tools, they really can be successful on that. So getting to reach new markets, make them grow their business, grow their export percentage, for example, and it's going to impact not just the employees of this company and their families, but also the whole economy, because we do have many companies in one only country growing because of us, and these whole companies can really impact the economy. So I think we are doing a very beautiful job right now that is not just helping companies to grow, but helping the whole country to improve their economy system. So I think that's it.
Okay, so actually you're so active and also you did so many things to your community. So who or what inspired you the most in your life, like in your life and also in your uh, like all this academic background and also like your job?
Who inspired me the most? I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Yes, yes, yes. Who inspired you the most during your studying and during your working, during your like now you're doing the job. So
Hard question, actually. Hard question. But actually, I can tell you that I think I was super lucky during my youth when I was like a student at university, because I got to meet amazing people during my path, during my way. And actually, I have two good friends of mine. Are both Chinese actually, but I've met them since my first year in Italy, when I was like a young student starting a new university, thinking about what the future could be, you know. And I had the lucky to meet these people who are very business oriented. And you have heard a lot already about how Chinese people, they are very good in doing business, and it is very well formed in their roots, you know. So like since from the
yes,
beginning, in the roots of the culture, there is like this business skill, you know, for all the people. So getting in touch with these friends of mine, I could open my mind. So it blowed my mind, you know. I could think outside the box. I could think, I could see actually something uh bigger in front of me. And I would say that those friends were really a mentor for me. So that's why I consider myself lucky, because I had the chance to get in touch with amazing people who were very KPI directed. You know, they had their main goals and they were working for that, and at the same time they were also impacting me, making myself understand how important it is to work hard to get a goal and reach this goal. So I would say that the closest people I do have, good friends that were really good mentors and good businessmen and good businesswomen as well. They were the ones impacting myself and the ones that inspired me to to be where I am. And if I think about myself right now, I think that the people around me, my colleagues, my manager, my boss, I think those people really inspire me because I can see amazing people that are very expert about one thing maybe or about many things. I can see how they can manage teams of 10, 15 people with a with simplicity, and also with like very humble even though they have a lot of power. So I think those people now are the ones also that really inspire me to be better, and also motivate me to improve myself to get like them.
Okay. And another question is this, that what was the challenging time you faced in your long 10-year career?
Challenges that I've
Did
made,
you get my question?
yeah, it's like challenges that I have faced during my career. Yeah, is it
Yes.
perfect?
Yes.
That's a good question actually. So as I told you, Alibaba is a startup in its souls, you know. So I think I get challenged every single day in my life. But even though I get challenged, I think the main point here is to say, okay, I take the challenge and I will work for it. So I would say something that it just happened last year. So I was doing just the Italian market, and I was supporting all the partners we do have here to manage our clients in Italy. And as I speak Portuguese, as I am very communicative, you know, my boss told me, what do you think about being business development, or like to develop the new market, to develop Portugal? What do you think about that? I didn't feel ready for that, for sure. I was like, oh my God, how can I do it? I wasn't prepared for that because the things I was doing in the last years have nothing to do with developing a new country, but supporting what exists. And that was a really big challenge for me. But I got it, and I said, okay, I'm not ready, but I will work to be ready for that. So in this sense, I took the talent, and I I was like working to improve myself, improve my skills, to understand what was my psychological box that I did have, because also that once we are an adult, you know, we grow up, we think that things are much easy, we are not going to be afraid of nothing, and it's not true. So for sure we are afraid sometimes, but the thing is that we need to face our fears and go ahead, not make the fear to block us and keep us where we are. So I think this is the most important thing I've learned with all the challenges I have had during this period in Alibaba. So accept the challenge, work to improve yourself, and work for results. Make it happen. I think this is the first point. I don't know if you're still there, but I think this is the main point. We lost our host. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, I think she's having some trouble with the network.
Perfect.
So great. So if you can also share, how did you start your career, and where did you start, and how did you passed how did you pass the process, like the interview process to get your job, and were you excited when you got the job, as well as what was the gap with your academic study and the real life experiences you had?
I think this is a good question actually, because when I first left university, and I needed to start looking for a job, I was just thinking in my head, what do I know? What do I know what to do? Actually, I felt unprepared to the work environment to start really a new job. And I felt that during my time at university, I've done a lot of things. I had a lot of new experiences, experiencing new countries, but at the same way, I didn't work in important skills that I needed to have to really get to one interview and say, okay, I'm expert on it, and it. And I'm ready for this position. So I was feeling a bit insecure when I just left university, and was thinking like, what should I do? Because I didn't know to do anything. And so what we start doing, we try everything. We start doing interviews to get accepted. So I started um, as an English teacher, actually, English and Italian teacher in Brazil, because I went back to in Brazil for a couple of years. So I worked there a little bit, and I said, okay, I love Brazil. Brazil is my hometown, but I don't want it to be here. And I also don't want it to be a teacher. So what should I do? What I really wanna? And then I put in my mind that I wanted to work in a huge company, which I could have this relation between Italy and China, that were both countries that I loved. And I put it in my mind and started to think, what should I have, like which are the skills that I should have to work for this kind of companies, or to find one company. Then I went back to Italy and I started studying like business, because I thought, China, Italy, I need to know business. So then it was the time I did my master's in business marketing and project management. And I was like focusing on that, and at the same time looking to do like interviews to start is somewhere, start to work to get experience, because experience are the most valuable thing you can have. Like in the work life, you should have work experience, and that's it. So at the beginning, I started trying every single interview that I could, to understand also how to do an interview, because I wasn't prepared for that. I was watching on YouTube what was the questions they made, and then how to prepare myself to be ready for an interview. And I started working in Italy, in Florence at the time, for a company that is a trading company. They were selling goods, like very well-known brands, to China. So I was selling like Chanel, Gucci, all these branded items to big buyers in China, that had at that time they had like big multi-brand stores in China, and for that they needed these products, these branded products. So I started working in this company as a sales person, as I could have the Chinese language, I could have the Italian knowledge, also the English for like other foreigner buyers. And then I started that there because I had my language skills. Okay, so that's why I was taken. And being in the sales field, you start learning so many things about sale and marketing. And I was also learning how to put into practice what I did in my masters before. So that was, I think, a very big change in my life. And after that, after being working with the B2B sector, selling in quantity to China, I had the opportunity to have the interview with Alibaba, but actually it was not the same platform I'm working right now. I started with AliExpress. So I consider myself very lucky because I was living in Florence in the exact moment that AliExpress was coming to Italy to start their business in Italy. And they started their business from a city very close to Florence where there was like a lot of Chinese industry. So Chinese people who came to China to Italy to build their business here and their factories here as well. So AliExpress started there, like started to do events, to talk a little bit about what AliExpress wanted to do here in Italy, and started to invite some entrepreneurs, Chinese entrepreneurs at the moment, to be part of these events. And I went to one of these events thanks to one of my mentors that I told you before. So he told me like, Anna, I heard about that. I think it's interesting for you to go there and see what's going on. And me putting box on myself, I was like, maybe I shouldn't go. I don't know so much about digital. I know a lot of other things, but not really digital. And he was like, go there, see what's going on, know people. So I took the suggestion. I went to the event. I made friendship with the woman who was the boss of the AliExpress project in Europe at the moment. She told me, okay, send me your CV. And I wanted to see if you have the skills for us because we need people working for us here right now. And I was like, okay. So then I consider myself very lucky because of those opportunities. But at the same time, I was prepared for that because I took the opportunity, even though I thought maybe I'm not ready, maybe I'm not the right person. I said, okay, let's do it. I prepared myself to the interview. I understood all the skills I needed to have, and I started working on that. And then this first phase was like 1 or 2 months long with all interviews. Then I joined AliExpress. In AliExpress, I saw that I wouldn't have anyone telling me what to do and when to do things. So I needed to learn by myself. And here, once again, even though I didn't know anything about that, I started trying to learn by myself, like to improve my skills. And in this way, I could then jump to Alibaba.com. That was a huge project that was arriving here in Italy as well. And now it's almost 5 years that I'm working for the company. But I think the main point here to touch is that even though you are already in a company, you still need to to cultivate your curiosity, your willing of learning, willing of solving problems, because in this way you can improve yourself, but also grow your path in your career inside the company.
Okay, that's so nice. Okay, my last question is this: that what do you think about the future skills needed for the youngs or for the young people and youths to excel in their professional field?
That's a really good question, actually, because more and more will evolve. We see that there are a lot of innovations arriving. Like we see ChatGPT, for example. Then we thought, maybe this is going to take one place in the market, and then they will not need people for that anymore. And actually, it's not like that. I would say that for the young kids that are joining the work market from now on, they really need to learn how to use all these tools that we do have in the market. learn in their favor, learn to use all these tools in their favor. So for sure, ChatGPT is not the same if the person who makes the question is not good enough in making the question. So I think we need to really work on ourselves, get a lot of knowledge, learn from different things, different subjects, in order to really have um, a way to not just learn what is going on and what is the innovation, but can be outstanding on that. But just talking, like taking the link with what you were saying before, with your question, I think the points that we should focus for sure is to have a good communication. So you need to know how to communicate with your peers. You need to know how to communicate your ideas in a way that they arrive to the other person. You also need to know how to listen. And this is a skill that some people don't know that is super needed. We always wanted to talk. We need to talk because we need to show that we know. We need to show that we are there, but at the same time know how to listen and learn from others is a huge skill that can make a big impact on your career, because you listen, you learn, and then you can say just what is the compliment, just what is needed, and after a good reflection. Another characteristic that I think the uh, young people should focus on would be know how to work in a team, because one of the problems we face sometimes in corporations, in good corporations, sorry, in big corporations, is that we do have amazing people that really do have great results by themselves and alone. If you put these amazing people together, we cannot have the same results. So I think to cooperate and learn how to work in a team is one of the best skills you can have for sure. And yeah, I'm thinking if there is like any other one that would be interesting, I would say that try to learn how to talk in front of the audience, speak aloud, and to really communicate well. What else can I tell you about the skills? Also, I think to keep curious about life, about things, about how to improve. I think curiosity can give you a lot of opportunities. And I think another thing would be prioritize. I think we should learn how to prioritize. I think though this could be the first skill you should learn, because you need to have focus on your main goals, even though you are supporting your peers. But have focus in what is important for you is also something that we need to learn, because it's not that easy as we think. And I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great. Everything. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, with our audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for inviting me. I hope the things I said could maybe make you your mind. You think differently, think maybe something different from what you were facing or what you were planning already. And if you have any questions, curiosity, something that you wanted to know, please don't be shy, and please get in touch by LinkedIn, for example. So I will be happy in seeing you, and supporting you as much as I
Yeah,
can. Thank
thank
you.
you so much.